Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place. Thank you for joining us for the second ever episode of All Killer. For the next hour, we're going to be bringing you nothing but in-ring action. We're going to be starting things off with Anthony Stone, somebody who's had a great year here in Beyond Wrestling, going up against a newcomer in Bobby Ocean. Now, Bobby Ocean is a competitor who wrestles primarily for CTWE, based in Connecticut, an organization that Beyond Wrestling has been partnering up with. And believe it or not, there's going to be a signature Beyond Wrestling 4-way this Saturday in Bethany, Connecticut at CTWE, a contest featuring Anthony Stone going up against Biff Busick, going up against Aaron Epic, and going up against Johnny Miyagi. So if you're in the area, definitely check that out. As this match is underway, it's Anthony Stone with an advantage over Bobby Ocean. Bobby Ocean looks to be a great athlete, but I've got to admit, I haven't seen much of what he's capable of in the ring. Hopefully we're going to see that today, although it is going to be very difficult for him to get the advantage over a competitor like Anthony Stone. Again, so much momentum coming into this contest. Most recently competing for Chikara's Young Lions Cup as well. Believe it or not, it's actually Anthony Stone that introduced Bobby Ocean here to Beyond Wrestling. Anthony Stone saying that he had seen some of Bobby Ocean's work and wanted to test him firsthand in the ring.
1, 2, 3. Get my tights, man.
Bobby Ocean saying that Anthony Stone is grabbing his tights. If he did so, I would have to say that it would be unintentional. Certainly not tactics that we're used to seeing out of Anthony Stone. In fact, Anthony Stone has had a number of issues over the past couple of years with both Mark Angel and Nick Talent as a result of the fact that those guys are willing to take shortcuts in order to move up the ranks here in Beyond Wrestling. Anthony Stone does not feel as though that is the way that competitors should be winning their matches. And I do have a tendency to agree with him. Anthony Stone backing Bobby Ocean into the corner. Ocean able to shift the momentum so that he's able to put his opponent back first into the corner. And are we going to see a clean break here? There's some sportsmanship out of Bobby Ocean and Anthony Stone. Although Anthony Stone talking a little trash, asking if Bobby Ocean felt that he was grabbing his tights right there. These two tying up once again. Both competitors similar size, but Anthony Stone using the leverage to back Bobby Ocean to the ropes. Really struggling, but finally landing that shot in the midsection. And now another kick to the chest. Looking to shoot Bobby Ocean across the ring. And able to trip him up. Ocean's caught on that second rope. And Anthony Stone using the ropes to kick Bobby Ocean right in the face. Springboarding off that second rope and connects with the double stomp. Anthony Stone, instead of going for the pin, he's got something else in mind right here. Just driving his opponent back first into the turnbuckle. Connecting with a shot to the midsection, shoulder first. Now comes charging in with that flipping drop kick. Now just pulling Bobby Ocean to the center of the ring, away from the ropes. The lateral press is only good for 2. Anthony Stone perhaps looking to suplex Bobby Ocean. No, instead releasing him in midair and driving him down sternum first into the canvas. Bobby Ocean still able to kick out, although just barely. A maneuver like that's going to knock the wind out of your opponent. Make it that much more difficult to compete. I mean, it's hard enough to compete with all the damage done, but never mind when you can't even breathe. Anthony Stone looking to send Bobby Ocean for the ride. This time Bobby Ocean able to avoid contact up and over, but Anthony Stone had him scouted. Able to connect with that rolling pinning combination. This time Bobby Ocean able to kick his opponent off. Getting that separation he finally needs. And comes charging in with the shoulder of his own. The elbow finding the mark. And now Bobby Ocean snapmaring Anthony Stone to the center of the ring. Just snapping away at the neck. Got the leg hooked. Only a 2 count. Looks as though Bobby Ocean has been able to weather the storm, the initial onslaught from Anthony Stone, who was targeting his midsection. Now really effective, making sure not to allow any separation. Even still, that diving elbow, only good for a 2 count. Now grabbing Anthony Stone by the hair. A bit hypocritical, seeing that he was complaining that Stone was grabbing his tights earlier in the match. With Stone chest first against the turnbuckle, really laying in a series of strikes. And now overhand chop. Bobby Ocean wrestling a very deliberate pace right now, making sure that he's not going to be making a mistake, because that is what you don't want to do. You don't want to allow Anthony Stone the opportunity to really build momentum, because he will use that speed, that athleticism to really string together an incredible combination of offense. Right here, it looks like he's going to be going for that Boston Crab. Oh, perhaps the Texas Cloverleaf. He's got it locked on. Not too often that we see submission attempts from Anthony Stone. But right here, he's got Bobby Ocean having to expend the energy to get to that bottom rope in order to break the hold. And just like that, Stone rolling into position where he can see what his opponent's next possible move is going to be. Picking Bobby Ocean up, just driving him face first in that top turnbuckle. Bobby Ocean able to put on the brakes, but Anthony Stone able to springboard off the second rope, connect it with the back elbow. He had an effective pinning combination. We're starting to see just how resilient Bobby Ocean is. Now looking to set up Ocean in the corner. Just another shot to the midsection and connecting once again. Looking for the Irish whip. Bobby Ocean able to get the boot up as Stone comes charging in. Connected with the leg drop right on the side of the head. Would that be a knockout blow? No. And if you'd like to see both of these competitors competing live this weekend, CTWE, they've got tickets available at ctweprowrestling.com. You can follow them at Twitter at CTWE Live. Bobby Ocean, very aggressive. A number of shots right to the face of Anthony Stone. Lateral press, though, he did not hook the leg, and perhaps that's the only thing working in Stone's favor right now is that slight mistake. But he's going to really need to find a second win at some point, as Bobby Ocean is in the driver's seat. We've seen a number of effective strikes out of Ocean, but now perhaps looking to finish the deal. He's got Stone set up on that top rope. Oh! Stone nowhere to go, just a series of headbutts right to his face. Now Ocean perhaps looking for a top rope superplex. Anthony Stone trying to put on the brakes, doing whatever he can to counter. This late in the contest, if Ocean was able to connect from the top rope, that would spell certain doom. Just like that, Stone able to dump his opponent on the mat again. Another maneuver that's going to affect the midsection. And Stone's going to be charging in, connected with that forearm. Ocean unable to get out of the way. Gets caught with that elbow and the drop kick. And this is what I was talking about. This is where Anthony Stone is really at his most effective. Reversal of the Irish whip. But just like that, able to connect with that calf kick. You can tell that this is where Anthony Stone's starting to get frustrated, because this is going to be his best opportunity to capitalize on a fallen opponent. Now just clubbing away at the back. Not much impact behind those strikes. Going to send Bobby Ocean across the ring, but again, Ocean able to find a reversal and muscling his opponent up. But Anthony Stone lands on his feet. Now looking to powerbomb him, but Anthony Stone again able to slip out the back door. That time he got caught with an elbow. Again, every time Bobby Ocean is able to land one of those strikes, seemingly stopping Anthony Stone right in his tracks. But Bobby Ocean with tunnel vision, he's got something in mind. Perhaps this could be a mistake, as Anthony Stone had it counter the first time. Man, really rattling him with those headbutts. Stone fighting off once again, shots to the back of the head and the shoulders. Perched off the top rope and able to nail him with the double knees. And that's enough to pick up the victory here. Let's see if we can take another look at that. Just riding him down to the mat, especially that left knee, catching him right in the midsection. And you've got to wonder, as much damage has been done to Bobby Ocean throughout that entire contest, if perhaps Anthony Stone was once again able to knock the wind out of him. And a great effort from Anthony Stone. I mean, very impressed with what I've seen out of Bobby Ocean too. Somebody hopefully we'll be seeing more of here in Beyond Wrestling. But as it stands right now, Anthony Stone picking up another victory, picking up another point, and knocking off Bobby Ocean in his debut here at Beyond Wrestling. Get both of these competitors. You can see them at CTWE this weekend in Bethany, Connecticut. It's going to be Anthony Stone versus Aaron Epic versus Biff Busick versus Johnny Miyagi in a signature Beyond Wrestling Elimination 4-Way Showcase. Bobby Ocean, you can definitely see rattled right here. Last time we saw Johnny Miyagi here at Beyond Wrestling, he suffered an embarrassing defeat at the hands of Mr. Touchdown. So it looks like he's found himself a partner in Scotty Wild, and they're going to be testing themselves against Team Tremendous, Dan Barry and Ken Scampi, two veterans of a number of years. And they've been the targets of both John Harder, Leon St. Giovanni, the Professional Revolution, of course. Those two linking up with Mark Sherman and JT Dunn. Been doing what they can to rid Beyond Wrestling of Team Tremendous. John Porter insists that Dan Barry has no heart, that he's unprofessional. The campaign will roll on because September 30th, Beyond Wrestling's Armory Memorial, our Rhode Island debut in East Greenwich. Dan Barry is going to be teaming actually with Bill Carr. They're going to be tested against the team of Brian Fury and Biff Busick. And another unusual combination, it's going to be Leon St. Giovanni, who's going to be teaming with Mark Sherman, up against Anthony Stone and Kellen Thomas. They're going to be looking for some retribution after what happened at the Swamp Sessions live event. And of course, things will come to a head on October 13th in Deer Park, New York. Beyond Wrestling debuting in Long Island as part of a doubleheader with Women's Superstars Uncensored. It's going to be an elimination match. Team Tremendous versus the Professional Revolution. Whichever team loses is going to be forced to disband. You're going to think that Dan Barry, Ken Scampi are going to be treating this contest as a warm-up, knowing what's in store in just a few weeks. Again, Johnny Miyagi looking to try and earn some respect from some of the other peers again after such an embarrassing defeat at the hands of Mr. Touchdown.
Where is? What is he? Look. Don't pull my hand. I'm sorry. Just shake on his hand. There we go.
Dan Barry shaking Johnny Miyagi's hand. Taken away. Going right to that side headlock and taking him down.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy
Dan Barry having some fun with some of the other wrestlers on ringside, eliciting that chant. Dan Barry dubs himself remarkably average. I don't think that that's an accurate description. I think that Dan Barry is a phenomenal competitor, somebody who doesn't get nearly enough credit, especially for his high-flying ability. Driving his foot into his opponent's head. Firmly in control, though Miyagi is going to be looking to send Dan Barry for the ride. Barry just plows through him. Barry just sent Miyagi over to his own corner to make that tag to Scotty Wild. Dan Barry instructing Ken Scampi to stretch him. Two veterans looking to get their licks in. And Scampi immediately going to that waistlock and taking his opponent down to the mat. Controlling his body with that front face lock. Wild's going to counter. Just like that, Scampi back up to his feet. Wrenching away on the wrist. Of course, we saw Dan Barry, Ken Scampi, Bill Carr teaming with their captain, Johnny Cockstrong, knocking off the team of R.D. Evans and the Submission Squad at the Swamp Sessions live event. These guys have definitely some momentum coming to this contest. Great belly-to-belly throw. Not a move that you often see, but I mean, it's very effective. Not only slamming your opponent down to the mat, but landing on top of him. Great maneuver out of Ken Scampi. Now just keeping the pressure on Scotty Wild. Wearing away, just driving that fist right to the side of the head. And Scampi looking to coordinate some tag team offense with Dan Barry. Barry gets tagged in. These guys are going to have 5 seconds for whatever they have in mind. Barry connected with a shot to the head. Springboarding up to the top rope. And landed with the elbow drop right at the point of the jaw. Take another look at that. Scotty Wilde nowhere to go. Being balanced on his opponent's knees. Oh, Johnny Miyagi not being afforded the opportunity to get in the ring to try and break up this pinning combination. Scotty Wilde able to kick out. This match will continue. Dan Barry with the vertical suplex popping right back up to his feet, going right into the pin. Effective combination, but not enough to put Scotty Wilde away. Now going to hook the arm, perhaps going for that cradle. No, instead something else in mind, grabbing the leg and the arm. A great variation of the ab stretch. Ken Scampi coming into pose. Barry looking to switch things up. Ooh, just driving the point of the elbow to the back of the head. And a stomp. So far, Team Tremendous have dominated this contest. Snap Aaron Wild into position. Ken Scampi got to slingshot himself into the ring and connect with the elbow. For that pin. Now hook the leg and Wild is out at 2. So far, we've seen very effective strategy from Team Tremendous. Very quick to tag, making sure that they keep each other fresh as they work down their opponents. Wild finally finding a counter. Dropping the elbow. And if he's smart, he's going to get Ken Scampi over to his corner and tag into the fresh Johnny Miyagi. Miyagi with a shot to the midsection. And able to take Scampi down with that neck breaker. Miyagi's not somebody that's had too much luck since making his debut in Beyond Wrestling. I don't know how effective that punch in the ass was.
Brett, how's an ass punch not illegal? It's a punch, closed fist.
Dan Barry saying that he thought that was an illegal maneuver because it was a closed fist. For that lateral press. And Barry's in there to break up the pin with a slap right to Wild's back. Now Miyagi and Wild trying to coordinate some tag team offense. Got Scampi set up on the rope, and both of them just drop kick him right in the face. Miyagi saying that he's never going to die. A very outspoken individual. In fact, even though this is an episode of All Killer, we'll provide you with a little bit of filler now. Miyagi and Scotty Wilde, as they made their entrance, had some very strong words directed at a number of people on the Beyond Wrestling roster. So that's definitely something to check out as well. Now Miyagi sending Scampi chest first. I'm going to say I'm surprised that Miyagi and Wilde have been able to get as much offense as they have been able to. But again, it's just an effective tag team strategy. Cutting off the ring and making sure that Ken Scampi is not afforded the opportunity to tag out to Dan Barry. Now that flying knee, as well as the combination with a Russian leg sweep. And that time you're going to think if Wilde released the pin, just that he would avoid getting attacked again from Dan Barry. It's do or die time for Wilde and Miyagi. You know, if they really have to put Ken Scampi away right now before he's able to catch that second win, before he's able to get to Dan Barry. Wilde doing what he can to subdue Scampi with that front face lock. Scampi's really struggling right here. And able to muster up the strength to toss his opponent off of him, and Dan Barry finally tagged back into this match. Taking Miyagi down with a stiff clothesline. The back elbow finds the mark, and a hip toss. And another one. Dan Barry again, the hip toss. And now a fourth. Miyagi taking down once again. Dan Barry going for the official. He's going to be careful here. Although Wilde comes charging in, the referee takes him down with the hip toss. Perhaps it's contagious. Barry's going to be looking to take this opportunity to pin his opponent. But just like that, Miyagi pulling Dan Barry off. Oh, he gets caught with a kick in the face for his troubles. Now Dan Barry's got the arms butterflied. Able to elevate Miyagi and just drive him brainbuster style. Take another look at that. Able to hold his opponent in position, make him think about it, and just cradle the head down to the mat. You're gonna think that Johnny Miyagi's gonna be eliminated from this contest from a maneuver like that. We've seen this doomsday sliced bread effective in eliminating a number of opponents from competition here at Beyond Wrestling. And it'll be no different here at All Killer. Dan Barry and Ken Scampi picking up a very dominating victory over Johnny Miyagi and Scotty Wild. And I'll tell you what, if I'm John Harder, if I'm Leon St. Giovanni, JT Dunn, Mark Sherman, they've been rolling with Vernon Somoza lately, any combination of those guys, I would certainly be worried for what Team Tremendous has in store for the professional revolution on October 13th. And that's where Dan Barry trained. That's where Dan Barry broke into professional wrestling, at the New York Wrestling Connection, the Sportatorium. Johnny Miyagi again caught with that brainbuster, not even moving here. He's in trouble. Somebody better check on him. Here we've got a grudge match between Nick Talent and Drew Gulak. It was Nick Talent that interfered on Mark Angel's behalf at the Double Trouble live event. Effective enough, causing distraction on the apron. What happened is when Drew Gulak reared back to knock Nick Talent down to the floor, he accidentally elbowed the official. Drew Gulak had Mark Angel in the Gulak. The referee called for the bell. We thought that Mark Angel had submitted. But instead, what had happened is that Drew Gulak was disqualified for attacking the official. I thought that was a lousy call. Not working with our usual officiating team out in Cleveland. But regardless, Drew Gulak has still been unable to avenge his loss to Mark Angel, dating back to the Crises Precipitates change taping. Drew Gulak has been effective in avenging 2 other losses. Both to Johnny Mangway, now known as Jocko, as well as his loss to Darius Carter. He's still yet to defeat Aaron Epic and Mark Angel. As the bell sounds, I'm going to think it's going to be all business, especially from what we've seen under Drew Gulak. So aggressive, so physical. I mean, really, to me, he takes the 2 elements that made Chris Dickinson and Jefferson Saint so effective in the earlier days of Beyond Wrestling, and he's able to combine those. It's that physical style, but it's also that cunning, that wherewithal, the ability to study so many of the greats in professional wrestling and then adapt that strategy. Definitely a student of the game. Again, at such a young age, only 24 years old, somebody who's also a world travel competitor. I'm sorry, but Nick Talent is outmatched in this contest, just as he was when we saw him go up against Tony Kozina at Back in Flesh last year. And that was an embarrassing outing for Nick Talent. But to Nick Talent's credit, he did send Mark Angel and AJ Evers to the back for this contest. He wants to do this all on his own. It's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be a long night for Nick Talent. Especially considering that he was the one that prevented Drew Gulak from avenging that loss to Mark Angel. And you know that's eating away at Drew Gulak. Gulak wants to move on from those losses to become the #1 ranked wrestler in Beyond Wrestling so he can focus on racking up those wins. Right now, Nick Talent standing in his way. And Talent able to trip him up. Drew Gulak might have hurt his knee right there. We are seeing a much more aggressive side out of Nick Talent as well. That's what he's going to have to do. Really landing that knee right at the side of the head. And charging it with the elbow as well. Pointing the elbow right to the temple. Now going in for the pin. And again, I mean, so far, a sound strategy out of Nick Talent. We're seeing a lot more aggression out of him. Again, when he debuted in Beyond Wrestling, he had that mean streak. He linked up with Anthony Stone. Again, Anthony Stone was trying to explain to him there's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. But of course, with Anthony Stone out of the picture for a while, ended up teaming up with Mark Angel to form the Academy of Anatomy. And while they had a lot of success, we saw that bad attitude from Nick Talent. In fact, I mean, Nick Talent has really passed up some opportunities to compete at Beyond Wrestling over the past couple of months. There's been times where he's been at the show and he's opted not to have a match. You've got to wonder how much that has to do with the fact that he might be there more so to preserve Mark Angel's spot as the #1 ranked wrestler in Beyond Wrestling. Really, that bad attitude of Nick Talent, perhaps he's the one that could have had the influence on Mark Angel when Mark Angel attacked Johnny Cockstrom. That was really the first time that we saw that change in Mark Angel. You've got to wonder if it has a lot to do with Nick Talent's influence. Now Nick Talent driving Drew Gulak to the corner. Shooting across the ring very hard. Nick Talent doesn't get nearly enough credit for how strong he is as a competitor. A very imposing physical specimen. This kid's in the gym 5 days a week. You can tell in his physique. And even though he might be a little bit shorter than Drew Gulak, he's certainly going to have that strength advantage throughout this contest. Now just wrenching away. He's got the body scissors applied, squeezing the life out of Gulak. You know, that's something that we've seen since the beginning of Beyond Wrestling, is that these guys with these bad attitudes, especially in competition, respect is so important here at Beyond Wrestling. They stick out like a sore thumb. And even when they have the ability, when they have the accolades to get the job done based on their own physical ability, it's always overshadowed when they do take shortcuts. So Nick Talent is a competitor that's never gotten the credit that he's deserved as a result of that. You'll never see Drew Gulak taking a shortcut, though. You will see him taking a double chop to the chest. Talent again, sending Gulak into the turnbuckle, but this time, Gulak has got the boot up. He comes charging in, caught him with a glancing blow. That shot didn't miss the mark. Just a straight kick to the chest, and Nick Talent has to retreat. Gulak, though, pulling him up by the ear. Bringing him back into the ring. Oh, just a shot to the chest with that headbutt. Gulak trying to wrench away at the left wrist. Able to apply enough pressure to bring Nick Talent down to the mat. And look at the way he's got the arm hooked as well as driving the foot in the bottom of the face of Nick Talent. Really bending up that shoulder. Of course, it's been well documented that Nick Talent has had a history of neck injuries. So I can guarantee he's not coming into this match 100%. This is feeling a lot better, up to full strength, but even still, you've got to wonder if that's going to be something that Drew Gulak is going to be looking to target. Drew Gulak has really slowed down the pace of this match, even though Nick Talent is back in control. Just for the few moments that he was on the offense, you can tell the damage has been done. And Drew Gulak, he's got that arm around Nick Talent's head, just find the right leverage and snap-marrying him onto the ring apron. And again, I talked about the damage that had been done to Nick Talent's neck. Again, without having that surgery, man, that's always going to potentially be a weak spot. That's not stopping Drew Gulak. And Nick Talent, healthy enough to agree to this contest.
Let's go, guys.
Take a look at the welts forming on his back just from the attack of Drew Gulak. What does Gulak have in mind right here? We saw him do something similar to Darius Carter. We saw him nail that jackhammer on the floor, and he's done so once again. Able to muscle up his opponent and drive him down with all of his body's weight. Talent's in trouble. This just goes to show you, though, don't mess with Drew Gulak. Gulak perhaps looking for a count-out victory, knowing not to inflict any more physical punishment on his already injured opponent. Talent, to his credit, beating the 10 count. That might have been foolish because he's he's just leaving himself prone to Drew Gulak, who just dumps him out on the floor once again. And again, this is not where Nick Talent needs to be. Drew Gulak is so aggressive. He's going to do everything he can to use his surroundings to his advantage. Now propping up Nick Talent in the lap of Dan Barry. Oh, another straight shot to the chest. Pulling out the chair from underneath Dan Barry. Dan Barry effectively pile driving Nick Talent. You got Drew Gulak having a little bit of fun right here with some of the other wrestlers on ringside. Just going to show you how much he's dominated his opponent at this point. And he can joke around and stuff like that. Very humiliating for Nick Talent to be caught up in a situation like that. And again, just more damage done to the neck. Of course, we saw there were some problems with the Academy of Anatomy last night, losing to the Pateri. So you're going to wonder, Nick Talent, Mark Angel, AJ Evers not on the same page. Perhaps that's one of the reasons that Nick Talent sent them to the back. Oh, no. Oh, Drew Gulak just releasing Nick Talent. His legs caught up on the ropes. Again, more impact than you would normally see on the neck. And then just jumping in with that drop kick to the well-chiseled physique of Nick Talent. Caught him right in the solar plexus. Talent hardly even moving right here. And able to get his foot on the rope. Drew Gulak pointing off camera, saying that you're the one responsible for this. If I had to wager a guess, I would have to say perhaps Mark Angel, watching this match from the other ring, even though he was sent to the back from Nick Talent. And as a result, perhaps Mark Angel enough of a distraction that Nick Talent's able to capitalize. Really caught him with that forearm, that elbow to the side of the head. Hooking the leg from underneath, but too little, too late. Drew Gulak still able to kick out.
Why are you cheering up?
Again, a very physical encounter.
You think because I'm always with them, that I can handle some of the counter?
Nick Talent saying, asking the other wrestlers if he thinks that, if they think that he can't get it done on his own as a result of his alliance with the Academy of Anatomy. And what's this maneuver right here? He's got Gulak's arm tied up and forcing the point of his knee into the carotid artery, trying to cut off the flow of the blood to the brain. And now perhaps looking for that maneuver once again, instead switching up. And decided to drop the knee and just go for a more traditional choke, albeit not legal. Heard the referee counting for him to break the hold, risking disqualification or inflict punishment. Now just driving the point of the knee to the top of the head. Get a much more aggressive side than we're used to seeing out of Nick Talent. And now, want to talk about adding insult to injury. He's locking on the Gulak, that dragon sleeper. You got to think that if Drew Gulak has the wherewithal to know where he is right now, he's got to be pretty pissed off. Now trying to target the face of Nick Talent. Get out of this hole. He's going to buy the jowls. Talent gets caught with that drop toe hold. And Gulak has got him in that single leg crab. Gulak trying to shake the cobwebs. Talent's about as far away from the ropes as could be. Gulak's so smart to bring him to the center of the ring. Now really wrench it back. Applying pressure not only on the leg now, but also the upper back. Again, you're going to wonder if he's going to be looking to target the neck more. Talent unable to free himself from this position. Now the pressure being applied on the ankle as Gulak starts to kick away. Talent to give it up, and instead he's just going to be continuing to punish him. And the boot once again, finding the mark in between the shoulder blades. Gulak's got the leg hooked. Talent kicks out. Gulak's going to be starting to get frustrated here. He's wondering what it's going to take. I mean, this is really more of a fight than we've ever seen out of Nick Talent right here. Nobody's pushed Nick Talent the way that Drew Gulak has. Now Gulak trying to bring Talent back up to his feet. Just to chop him back down to the mat. The impact on the chest as well as the back when Talent falls to the mat. And this time that chop enough to send Talent into the corner. Talent's chest and welt starting to form. able to drive the knee again to the side of the head. He's looking for a knockout blow. That's what we've seen throughout this contest. All of these strikes, all of these maneuvers, the point of the elbow, the point of the knee, directed towards the temple. He's trying to knock out his opponent, so I'm not sure if he can beat him otherwise. And maybe that is the only way to defeat Drew Gulak these days. The amount of intensity, the amount of determination that he has to prevent all his losses. You have to knock him out. Gulak quick to get to the top rope. Diving in with the clothesline. Catching Talent right under the chin. Talent kicks out. Gulak perhaps starting to doubt himself? I'm not sure. But I do know what he's doing. He's affording his opponent a bit of an opportunity to recover. And now, oh, he's going to bite the tights. Perhaps looking for a pile driver. Oh, chopping away again. 4 times. Going for that pile driver once again. But this is where we see the strength of Nick Talent coming into play. Driving Gulak into the turnbuckle. Just swinging around chest first. Now he's got him all hooked up, tied up in the ropes. Caught him with that neck breaker, still holding on. And finishing up that combination with a high angle neck breaker with Gulak's legs caught up in the ropes. He's got him folded up. And Gulak flips out. Take another look at this combination from Nick Talent. Caught him with that neck breaker. And the second one.
What do I have to do?
Here Talent saying, what do I have to do? Perhaps going to go for that submission hold again. He's got Gulak's arm wrapped around his own head. Again, applying pressure to the neck, but really driving the point of the knee into the carotid artery. That's where this maneuver is effective. It's even more effective than your typical sleeper hold. And Gulak just barely able to get his leg onto that bottom rope, forcing Talent to break the hold again. It took him a lot more time to get out of the hold this time when Talent had originally applied it. And really, I'd have to consider an upset victory if Talent could pull it off here against Drew Gulak. Talent arguing with the official, just swatting away Gulak. Taking a page out of Mark Angel's book, exposing the knee. Missing the mark. Talent trying to shake some life back into that leg. How much damage was done? And just like that, Gulak with a counter. Able to roll through and pull him in position. He's got the Gulak applied. Is he able to find the body scissors? Yes, he is. Talent in the center of the ring. And Talent's tapping out. Gulak with an emphatic victory over Nick Talent here. And sending a message to the other members of the Academy of Anatomy. Again, a very competitive contest. We've got a standing ovation from the other wrestlers on ringside. Really appreciating the efforts that are put forth both from Drew Gulak and Nick Talent. Gulak finally able to pick up that victory over Nick Talent, especially after what Talent had done costing him the match over Mark Angel. As Gulak says, that's one more point, but that's not the win that he wanted. That's not the win over Mark Angel. You've got to think that's what's on his mind. The other wrestlers chanting for Gulak. He's somebody that's a favorite amongst the other wrestlers here. The type of guy that you love to watch, but you hate to step in the ring with. Gulak just staring Talent down. Talent having to get out of the way for fear of more punishment being inflicted by that man right there, the victor, Drew Gulak. And there you see Mark Angel in the corner of the screen, even though he was sent to the back.
Johnson, you smack, man. Okay.
And it's main event time here at the second episode of All Killer. I want to thank you again for joining us. And again, for free weekly matches and so much more, please subscribe if you don't already to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/beyondwrestling. Hey guys, the more subscribers we have, the more content like this that we can put up for free. So please, if you can, spread the word to anybody that you know that's a wrestling fan, anybody that used to be a wrestling fan. I have a feeling that they're going to like what they see. Again, with the all-killer format, nothing but bell-to-bell action. Now Darius Carter going one-on-one for the first time ever with Aaron Epic. Again, Aaron Epic, you can see him competing this weekend at CTWE in Bethany, Connecticut. CTWEProWrestling.com for all the information. Darius Carter cowering in the corner, trying to shake off the effects. Aaron Epic very quickly targeting that left arm. Again, Aaron Epic in just 1 year's time, we've seen him really come into his own here at Beyond Wrestling. It's unbelievable to see the progress when you go back and watch the footage from May of last year when he made his debut. He's really found himself, and he looks so comfortable in the ring. And just like that, bending Carter's arm around his own neck, trying to hyperextend the elbow. Being forced to break the hold because Carter was in the ropes. Here you hear him telling Carter that he's leaving with that arm. Again, so much more confident in his own abilities. That makes him that much more effective of a competitor. Darius Carter really taking his time right here. You're gonna think that he's counting his lucky stars, that TJ Marconi is not here at the studio tapings this weekend. Of course, Darius Carter stealing the victory over his former partner with the assistance of Brass Knuckles at the Swamp Sessions live event. And you gotta think that Marconi is gonna be looking for revenge. That was Marconi's big comeback. It was pretty much taken away from him because Darius Carter cheated. You know, I'm not really sure why Carter would have to beat an opponent like that either. I mean, don't get me wrong, Marconi is one of the biggest and strongest members of the Beyond Wrestling roster. All that ring rust, fresh off of back surgery, Carter certainly has the technical ability to take down a larger opponent. But right here, he might be outmatched by Aaron Epic. Look at the way that Aaron Epic is able to pull away the shoulder and the elbow once again. But again, look at that. Carter able to find an escape with the schoolboy, getting the separation he needs so that Aaron Epic cannot build the momentum. Here you see in Aaron Epic's corner, Sugar Dunkerton, the only remaining member of the KOA, Pinky Sanchez, having a falling out with these guys at the Double Trouble live event. Of course, that DVD available at lookmonofans.com or SmartMark Video. Darius Carter gets caught right there. Again, more pressure being applied to that left arm. Aaron Epic holding arm in position. Just stomp it away in the hand now. Of course, Darius Carter using that foreclosure variation of the code breaker. You got to think that when he's trying to drive his opponent face first down into his knee, his arm has been weakened. Not going to be as effective when hitting that finishing maneuver. And also Aaron Epic, I mean, a very intelligent competitor, knowing that he must have had that stout coming into this contest. Ooh, Carter going right for the throat. See, having to shake his head, trying to get some feeling back into it. Connected with the headbutt to the side of the head. Oh, just a straight shot to the kidney. Darius Carter on spaghetti legs, finally falling down in the corner. Oh, and gets caught with that charging knee. Get a much more aggressive side out of Aaron Epic than we've seen previously. Now again, focusing his attack on that left arm. He stuffed Darius Carter's head into that turnbuckle. He's got him trapped and just kicking away. Doing more damage to the wrist, if anything. Epic just sizing up his opponent, planning his next attack. Carter again looking to retreat. Gets caught right in the chest. Aaron Epic locking knuckles with Darius Carter. And just slamming that arm on the top rope. Carter begging off right here. Epic is not giving him any separation whatsoever. Epic has been so aggressive. Just continuing the onslaught. Ooh, just a straight headbutt to the midsection. And a chop again. Aaron Epic sent for the ride, holding on to that top rope though. Catches Carter with the elbow. Carter comes charging in, he gets caught. Not sure if that was a knee to the chest or a kick to the arm. Hard to tell from my vantage point. Effective nevertheless, and now Aaron Epic's looking to suplex Darius Carter out to the floor. Darius Carter holding on for dear life. And able to connect with that picture-perfect dropkick, send his opponent crashing down to the mat below. Now Sugar Dunkerton checking on the status of Aaron Epic. Epic showing signs of life, but that was a nasty spill. Darius Carter instead of looking for the count-out victory. He's right on the floor. Oh, kick right to the face. Ooh, and another shot right to the ribs. But just like that, Carter took an opportunity to mouth off to some of the wrestlers on ringside, and Epic started fighting back. Now Darius Carter got that head trapped. Oh, just a strike to the back of the neck. Epic, unable to free himself from this position, gets caught with a boot to the side of the head. And both of these guys employ very similar styles. Both very sound technical wrestlers. Both can bring it in the striking department as well. Epic still unable to extricate himself from this position. Oh, and now just a diving knee to the back of the head. Epic's not moving. The referee needs to check on him in a situation like this. He could be knocked out. And Darius Carter put him in the center of the ring, going for that lateral press. As disrespectful as ever, burying the elbow in the face of his opponent. And just stomping on the side of the head. Again, you can see that Darius Carter's having problems with that left arm. That's not stopping him from talking trash. The other wrestlers are on ringside. Missing with the elbow, caught him low. Hard to tell from my vantage point as well as the referees whether or not that was a low blow. I wouldn't put it past Carter. Now just standing on Epic's arm, stomping away at his hand. And now Carter arguing with Sugar Dunkerton. And Darius Carter doing what he can to soak in the moment before just driving that knee. And now just stepping on the face of Aaron Epic. Oh, just look at the way he's fish hooking him right now. Again, just grinding the side of his arm. Epic really struggling right here. He's going to try and find an escape from this hold. This could spell the end for him. Epic able to fight back up to his feet. Series of strikes, but gets caught with that running big boot to the side of the head. Again, Darius Carter just playing with him. But Epic charging in, taking him down with that STO. And both guys are down. Again, take another look right here. Epic just bum rushing him. And that was exactly the maneuver that he needed to hit in order to stop the momentum of Darius Carter. It looks like he's having to use the ropes to pull himself back up to his feet. Epic comes charging in, just able to shove Carter down to the mat. Now taking him down with the clothesline. Now a kick to the leg. A kick to the chest. And again. Missing with that kick though. The fourth one finds the mark. And now a running knee. Carter's out. And Aaron Epic almost with a strange sense of humor about this whole thing. Now trying to bring Carter back up to his feet. Carter going right for the eyes. Gonna wonder if Epic perhaps was going for that 2K1 bomb. But we've seen him finish a number of opponents off. Take a look at the way that Darius Carter was able to block that attempted knee. Kicked him right in the face. And dumping him on the head with a cradle suplex. Opting for more impact instead of going right in the pin. But again, Darius Carter mouthing off to all the other wrestlers on ringside. I'd say that Darius Carter has been effective in Aaron Epic in terms of the physical attributes that he's brought to this contest, but every time he has his opponent down, he's focusing on all the other wrestlers on ringside. He's looking to send a statement to them, more so than focus on winning the contest. I wonder if he wasn't doing that, if perhaps he would have had Epic beat. And now there we go, looking for that foreclosure. But Epic again catching him with an STO. Epic balling up his fist, perhaps going for that fastball punch. Again, he's finished off a number of opponents with that maneuver here at Beyond Wrestling. But Darius Carter had it scouted, connecting with the enziguri. Oh, this time he gets caught with the knee, unable to block it. Still kicking out though. Again, Epic with a sick smile on his face. Perhaps masking his frustration, really wondering what else he can do. I mean, if he nails that fastball punch, it's over. But he's got to be able to get Darius Carter in the proper position and nail it. I think Carter realizing that, instead going to the corner. What an elbow from Aaron Epic! And now perhaps again going for that 2K1 bomb. Carter able to send Epic to the center of the ring. Epic comes charging in. Carter's got his feet on the ropes, and Carter steals one. I can't believe it. Darius Carter picking up a victory over Aaron Epic. And this is certainly going to be considered an upset, but Carter's stealing the victory. And there you see Sugar Dunkerton arguing with the official, and Carter taunting Epic. Well, that's the wrong move to make. Epic is furious right here, and you can't blame him. I mean, Epic arguably wrestling a better contest, but Darius Carter's the one that's leaving All Killer Episode 2 with the victory. Sugar Dunkerton doing what he can to calm down Aaron Epic. You're going to think that Sugar Dunkerton's going to be looking at exact revenge on behalf of the KOA. But